Hey guys, this is GamerCow. We are watching a replay of the 10 Desires extra stage because I kind of did this no focus yesterday. This was the last extra stage that I needed to do a no focus run of, and I done that yesterday. Didn't take me too long. I took about, I'd say, 40 or something tries, counting all of the stage restarts, which were the vast majority of it. I only played Mamazo three times before a success. First time ended at the 5th spell card, second time ended at the first spell card because I'm dumb, and the second failed attempt that way, which would be the third time, ended at the second spell card because that one's actually kind of hard to do no focus because of lower power. Anyway, on the way over here, mid-bossing, 2 really not too hard attacks and 1 stupid hard attack. This one's not too bad, but don't trust the bullets in the slightest because they have their own whimsical ways and they will wall you if you're not careful. And they will change direction whenever the hell they feel like it, so whatever. This time it wasn't too bad, and I'm terrible at it no focus though, whatever. This is the bullshit one. This is probably harder than most of Mamizo's cards, actually, and, well, the only advice I can give is to try and stay under her, and usually, since you'd be focusing to do this, usually you would want to stay very slightly higher up the screen than I am here, but I got sort of lucky with the way that's set up, and it really wasn't difficult at all, so that's fine. And then Yokai Orb of Unknown Mechanics. Unfortunately, it's definitely a wasted opportunity because this card could have been so great if it actually started with about double the bullets as to what it's got. Which is why I think in Ultra, supposedly it's really good, but whatever. The mechanics are well known if you actually look at it properly. It's not unknown mechanics at all, which is kind of stupid, but never mind. If you're not using Reimu, then this bit I would probably suggest going to just one side and killing the enemies that way. Also make sure that you know where the enemies are going to appear here, because otherwise they've got a lot of health if you don't start killing them before they shoot. And it's not the easiest of things to do, so be careful about that. There really isn't much to say to most of the stage though. It's not difficult, to be honest. Once you've played it a couple of times and you know where to trance, there's nothing hard about it. Obviously just trancing here for the resources because I need as much as I can get for this boss when I'm doing it no focus. Mamizo's a really fun boss though, because she's one of those that you can sight read win against if you're really good. I mean, Robin almost did, so it's kind of great that way. But yeah, considering Yomu is being used as well, and Yomu's kind of very difficult to use. I can't say terrible, but yeah, very hard to use. Anyway, I've never played the non-spells for Mamizo beforehand with this sort of condition, so some of them were a lot harder than I expected. The first couple really aren't though, so that's fine. I don't like doing this attack though. With no focus, there's not really any... I mean, streaming in general is pretty difficult when you've not got focus, because the idea with streaming is to restream stuff. You want to do a very quick unfocused movement so that you can create a gap. But if you're always in unfocus mode, then you're always or even if you're always in focus mode, you're always moving at the same speed, so it's very difficult to create gaps. Likewise, it's very difficult to restream slowly, which coupled with the lower attack power of Homing Reimu compared to Needles Reimu, makes this a very difficult proposition. This attack is not easy to time out, and I moved a bit too quickly on the upstroke here. I didn't have to move that fast, but I'm lucky I got away with that, basically. Third non-spell is actually easier than the second non-spell because the returning wave is a bit more tightly packed. So I don't quite understand why, but all of her non-spells follow the same general idea, so there you go. I do like this card, even when doing it no focus. I like to stay just at the sort of height where the lower set of birds are going to transform. you know, the bullets transform to birds. Because if I stay higher up, then I have a tendency to get sniped, but if I stay down the bottom, then I'm just gonna get walled, so there you go. Anyway, first mistake of the run coming up right about now? Yep. Because I did this first time, I managed to do that non-spell, and I didn't this time. It's a difficult non-spell to do, but I didn't expect to die at it, so that sort of sucked. As a result, I kind of got to cheese out most of this attack, so that's something. Which meant I had to deal with this spell card. When I played this spell card I mean, it's not even a spell, it's a non-spell. When I did this last time, I had died at the last spell card, and my trance pretty much took care of this. So yeah, I got sort of a little bit confused, and that's what happened. This run isn't that great, I will fully say that, but it is my first no-focus clear, and I haven't really spent any sort of time playing this, so there you go. There's a bomb on that because I didn't move to the left, because I'm a dumbass. Tried to move down and to the left, but I should have just moved straight to the left. I could have still dodged the birds, and I wouldn't have been killed by the dogs, because I wouldn't have run into them, because I'd have actually dodged them. But anyway, it's not too difficult a spell card, so that's fine. And now we start getting into a bit more of a clusterfuck style of non-spell, which is how the last three are. This one's not too bad though, even when you're doing it no focus. I initially thought that was a really hard non-spell, but it's not terrible. Could have done much worse than that. Anyway, Tanuki Monstrous School. This is another one of those cards where you really want to sort of be focused so that you can control the flow of it a lot more. And when you're not focused, it does make it a lot harder to work with. And well, I could have done this even looking at that, but I panicked because I thought I was going to get hit by the ones that were underneath me. Turns out I didn't, so that was a wasted bomb. Too bad. Oh, this non-spell, I just went no. I was actually safe there, once again. I didn't trust myself with the movement. It's very difficult to get the precise movement with only no focus. So I didn't trust myself there, and I therefore bombed when I was actually safe. Because I wanted to clear this, that's the thing. However, again, I moved too fast. I was hoping to trance this anyway, but I didn't want to die doing it, so that was bad. I should have just tranced it and, you know, been done with it. But I didn't, and I paid the price. Sucks to be me, basically. That's not very good. Anyway, you would think this would also be a really hard non-spell to do, but I don't know. The wave and a half that I had to do, I was perfectly fine with, so who knows. Also, this particular spell card is one of my favourites from this. It's definitely my favourite from this fight. It's one of my favourites in Touhou as a whole, actually, because it's just such an awesome concept. I mean, Mamizo transforming into Reimu but keeping that tail there is fantastic. And, well, the fact that she's making fun of Reimu is also amazing. That in itself makes it one of the best spells ever. I moved way too fast during this, though, so I end up, yeah, didn't see that particular charm there, so I got myself killed in this. Really, the idea of this is you are supposed to not hug the wall when you are trying to restream the thing. I underestimated how fast I would be, streaming this thing without focus. Really, that's what a lot of this has come down to. I sort of overestimated how the speed would work, and I ended up restreaming much more often than I had to, and that's what cost me a couple of lives in this thing. But it's okay, because this spell card isn't going to cost me any more resources. I just spoil it out right now, because it's basically dead there. Unfortunately, this does mean I only have 2 power to take on the final spell, which is a big hindrance, because that last spell is friggin' annoying. Oh well. Survival time! I love this survival card, but trying to do this no focus is really frightening. Because those dogs do have a random walking pattern, they don't always move in exactly the same way, and that does cause some concern. Not for that phase, but for this phase, because yeah, one of the hardest parts of this card is this dodge right there. Trying to get through that, because the birds are aimed at you, and they appear quite late, you don't really have time to... You can't stay in the center, because if you stay in the center, you're just going to get killed. So it's difficult, and I almost got smashed there as well, but thankfully I was alert at that point, so that's good. But yeah, that's one of the hardest parts, and then the other hardest part is the last 10 seconds of this thing, because man, those figure things coming into the center there is a very, very frightening prospect, because you can no longer dodge horizontally as much, which is sort of what you rely on when it comes to doing it no focus. But I captured it, and that was great, so definitely happy with that. So we get on to the final spell card, which I really hate, because I find this spell card like non-doable when it comes to the very end of it. It's not like it's impossible, but I find it very difficult to close out this card. I don't quite know why. I think it's because Mamizo moves randomly, and it's almost impossible to stay under her because of the length of the streamed thingies. Because you see, if she leaves enough frogs at the edge of the screen, like right there, at the you see at the top left corner, and that they can shoot from quite a big delay, like gap between the other frogs, and it creates a difficulty in the streaming because all the shots are aimed at you, but if there are some which are aimed much later than others, when the frequency of the shot starts going up, it starts becoming much harder to restream the thing. Which is why, as you can see, I'm sort of mostly trying to force my way from corner to corner so that I don't get stuck. But that means I do very, very little damage, especially when I only have 2 power, because I have barely any homing to hit with. So this card takes a long time, it gets very quick, and in the end, right now when it's at its last phase, it becomes very, very hard to do, and I, in the end, didn't trust it. I actually thought I got hit there. Once again, I was safe, but I didn't think I would survive, so a bomb at the end is more than enough. It's more than fine. I didn't really care. So yeah, that is my very first no focus extra. That's just a quick little gap of the spirit, because I was sort of in that I finally done it mode at the end of that. So yeah, just a quick thing to show, I guess, the last no focus run that I have to show. Technically I haven't shown all of the no focuses as they are, but I did put was it Mountain of Faith and Scarlet Devil are the only no focuses I think I haven't shown individually, but they were in the how much bullet can you dodge video thing. So technically I've now shown a no focus clear of every extra stage, which is quite good. But anyway, I guess leave your thoughts on that. I didn't think this was going to be as straightforward as it was, actually, because when you think about it, it's kind of tricky to only work with one side of your shot type. But oh well, that's what happened, so yeah.